All right, guys, 5 weeks into the NFL season. That's now behind us, and you know what that means. It's time to overreact. My name's Mike, and I'm here with Rocco and Sam. And today, guys, we're going to go over some of the main 2023 NFL awards, kind of give some predictions. So let's kind of just jump into it here. We'll talk about a few rookies. Sam, I'll look at you first. What do you got for Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year?
So for Offensive Rookie of the Year, I know Puka Nacua is the trendy pick, but personally for me, I'm going with C.J. Stroud. I think he has elevated the Texans to a whole new level that many people didn't see them being at this point in the year. I don't think many people expected much from Stroud, but he's performing really well. And for my Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with Jalen Carter. I just believe when you look at his statistics, the impact that he's making on an already very deep Philadelphia defensive line, I believe that outshines more than anything.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I've also got Stroud as my Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think the big story here with him is his interceptions. 0 picks through 5 games, just broke the NFL record for most pass attempts without an interception to start a career. Jalen Carter's a great pick as well. I mean, Rock, what do you guys say about that?
Well, C.J. Stroud, definitely, if he keeps this up, he's winning it. The guy's on an absolute tear, which not a lot of people expected, but he's absolutely cooking with the Texans. If he starts to fall off, though, watch Bijan. Bijan Robinson has a great opportunity, especially because he's taking over this backfield. And then for Defensive Rookie of the Year, I do have to say Jalen Carter and Devin Witherspoon are probably the two that are running away with it. If Christian Gonzalez never got injured, we'd have a different story to talk about here.
Fair. Yeah, I agree entirely. And you're big on your running backs. We'll get into that in a little bit. So now let's kind of move on to a couple of veterans here. I mean, we got Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. Let's start on the defensive side of the ball. I've personally got T.J. Watt. I mean, 8 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 return for a touchdown here. I mean, Rock, I feel like there's kind of a handful of guys you can give this award to every year. I mean, what are you saying here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got your guys like T.J. Watt, Nick Bosa. People are going to come and make an impact immediately. But somebody that they just played a very bad game, probably historically bad. I mean, honestly, it was hard to watch. Micah Parsons of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, he's been in the running for it every single year that he's been in the league. And I think this guy, if he turns into another level of, if just a San Fran game, you just put that behind and you keep the tear that he was on. I think he had like 5 sacks or 4 sacks. He had a fumble return touchdown. I mean, this guy, I think he's got it if he keeps his tear up. Micah Parsons is a monster on the Dallas defense. With Trevon Diggs hurt, they need him to show up.
I mean, that's undeniable. Definitely a game wrecker. We were talking about the Niners. Let's stick with the Niners here. Sam, let's move over to the offensive side of the ball. Tell me who the Offensive Player of the Year is and why it's Christian McCaffrey.
I definitely agree. Very somewhat obvious choice. It actually surprised me recently. I was looking. I thought McCaffrey was an Offensive Player of the Year at one point, and turns out he isn't. Be a perfect year for him to win it, though. This 49ers offense, the story for the 49ers seems to always just be defense, defense, defense. But this 49ers offense with McCaffrey has been performing exceptionally well, and I think McCaffrey is the engine that makes it run. I believe personally he's the Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I mean, the guy's got, 99 attempts, 510 yards, 7 rushing touchdowns. He scored at least 1 touchdown in each of his last 14 combined games, tying Emmitt Smith there. And, I mean, all of these wonderful things we're talking about Christian McCaffrey here. I mean, you wrap it all up. And, Rock, I kind of want to turn to you here because you take all of these things and you have it going for an MVP vote. Is that correct?
I do. I think I can't say if there was a running back MVP. I don't really remember off the top of my head, but I think Christian McCaffrey, as Sam said, he is the engine of San Fran. Without San Francisco and the 14 games straight with the touchdown, I mean, Christian McCaffrey's on a whole different planet right now. This guy is easily the best player in football right now. It's not always scoring. He always gets yards. He just impresses me every week with new plays, new highlight plays, and I think this is going to be a year that we're going to see quarterbacks not be at the top. I think Christian McCaffrey is really going to shine and show that without San Francisco, without Christian McCaffrey, is not as competitive as they can be. Christian McCaffrey is that important.
I mean, the last MVP that was a running back was back in 2012 when Adrian Peterson did it. The last 10 MVPs were all quarterbacks. So that's why for my vote personally, I have Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, the Dolphins are 4-1, currently the 2nd seed in the AFC. Tua is on pace to break Peyton Manning's all-time passing yards record. I think it makes perfect sense that at the helm of that Miami offense, it's Tua. He's the MVP. Sam, what do you guys say about that?
Yeah, I had Tua as a front runner for a while. I think he is a very talented player. But recently, I've been thinking Josh Allen. I believe it's a wide open race at this point still. But I believe with the way Allen performed, he had a pretty bad week 1, but his week 2 and every performance since then, he's been undefeated since that first week, and he has done just really well. And I believe that he finally wins his MVP.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, hey, I mean, only time will tell, right?
Yeah.
That's all we got for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for watching Hen Sports Night. Take care.